This video has two parts, and that's because it's about two different projects I did at school. And this part one is about the small bags you can see in the picture here. A school project I finished recently was making this kind of zipper pouches. There's pocket here, and then here is the lining. And the idea with this was that there should be room for a mobile phone and a wallet. And there's a shoulder strap in the final products, but this one was a prototype. Very first one I made. Had to check how these zippers work, and unfortunately this wasn't a very successful attempt, so this wasn't included in the final batch. So I got this for myself, and I made 15 of the actual products, which then went to be sold at the store at school. So I'm going to put here a slideshow of the finished ones. The first one was a bit slow to make because I had to sort of get an understanding on how the pieces go together. But I made 15 of these, and the further I got, the faster I got this done, because you get used to making them and you learn where each piece goes and how to sew them together to form the final piece. After I made all these, it was time for the final step, which was adding the shoulder strap. And then I just put them all on this board on the wall, so I could take a picture of everything at once, because I like having photos of the stuff I have made. This second part is about colors, and the idea was that we were making just sort of the upper part of the bodice for hairdressing students to use when they make all sorts of fancy hairdos, so they can have something nice to put on the person for taking pictures. So the idea is that you just crop the picture so it looks like the person is wearing an actual dress. These first two I made are copies of things I found in the web, like this. The picture on the left is the original, and the picture on the right is my interpretation of it. So the black dress, I couldn't quite figure out at first how it was made, so my green version was made a bit differently, and well, on the wrong side it's fairly ugly, but for this purpose you only needed something that looks good on the outside. How it's done on the inside doesn't matter. So it's basically like theater stuff. It just needs to look good and stay in one piece for long enough. And the yellow one, that's fairly close to the original. Of course, mine isn't quite as neat as the original one, but it's still okay. So here's the first one, the green. You see a bit more of it, and then this close-up of those. Those are plastic beads. They came with some craft set, I think, and plastic was fine for the purpose, as it just needed to look good. Here you can see the entire thing. As you can see, it goes down to the waist and it's open on the sides. There's also a zipper on the back. So the zipper is needed because you need to pull it over the head, and there's no way of knowing how big the hairdo will be, so you need a big opening. So you need to have a zipper so the back opens entirely, and then there's these narrow bands there on the sides. The sides are open, so you can tie the whole thing like it's here on the right, so it looks like it's a dress, even though it isn't. Because when you crop the picture correctly, you can't see it's not a full dress. So the idea is to just have the picture taken so that the bottom of the picture goes somewhere on the bust line, or maybe a bit higher. And here is the yellow one in the making. So you can see it here. It's 6 parts on the front, and then there are separate parts for the sides, because I wanted to have the sleeve seams. Even though there are no sleeves, I wanted the seams there, because once again it gives you the illusion of a dress. And here is the entire thing, and it will look better when it's on an actual person who has arms. Here it hangs on the sides because this dummy doesn't have arms. This is the third one. Here I didn't have anything to copy. I took the basic idea from a dress I saw in the web, but then the upper part is just, I figured what kind of materials I would like to use, and then I just thought of something to make with those materials. Here you can see part of the process. So on the left it's 3 parts, and it's the outer fabric and lining sewn together and then turn the right side out. And here you can see where the lace is supposed to go, and here on the right the lace has been stitched in place. And here is the entire thing finished. The black fabric it's wider than the upper part. It's been gathered here, so this will fit a bit wider person than what this dummy is. And the belt is there to keep the sides closed, because there's no other closing mechanism on the sides. It's just you wrap the black fabric on the sides so that it looks like the sides are closed, and then the belt keeps everything together.